This is the truth about the 8 empath types born from narcissistic abuse. When the topic of empaths comes up in conversations about narcissistic abuse, most people repeat the same familiar categories: super empaths, awakened empaths, stoic empaths, supernova empaths. Yet there are certain rare and extraordinary types of empath that almost no one in this field talks about. I believe you may be one of them. And it's this very gift that sets you apart in ways you may have never realized. I often say narcissists are drawn to your light not out of admiration, but because they see it as a threat. There is something within you they cannot possess, something they cannot replicate. Their instinct is to extinguish it because your very presence makes them feel smaller in comparison. This isn't about ego. It's about a spiritual gift you carry, one so profound that your connection with a narcissist becomes nothing short of a spiritual battleground. They don't just want to wound you emotionally. They want to crush the source of that light. And today, I want to reveal one of these rare empathic abilities and prove that you might have it. The first type is what I call the precognitive empath. This is not about reading subtle cues or calculating probabilities. It's not educated guessing. A precognitive empath possesses an unexplainable, heightened ability to sense and perceive events before they actually occur. This can come through vivid, almost cinematic dreams, sudden, crystal-clear visions, or an undeniable, physical sensation paired with an inner knowing that something is about to happen. These aren't vague hunches. They are precise and detailed impressions that later unfold exactly as you sense them. I refer to these as future flashes, moments where you suddenly see an entire scenario play out in your mind's eye before it happens in reality. You might dream of a specific event with such vivid clarity that when it comes true, you can't dismiss it as coincidence. For precognitive empaths, these flashes often become more frequent and more intense during periods of high stress or imminent danger. It's as if the nervous system becomes so finely attuned to threat that it begins scanning beyond the present moment, pulling in information from a place that defies ordinary explanation. Interestingly, this gift often emerges or strengthens after enduring narcissistic abuse. When you live under constant psychological threat, you develop an almost supernatural radar for predicting the next move, the next attack. Over time, this hypervigilance can evolve into something that feels otherworldly, an ability to tap into events before they occur. I've experienced this myself more times than I can count. Once, I was in a cab with my mother when, out of nowhere, a sharp wave of panic shot through my body. In that instant, a vivid vision played out in my mind of an accident about to happen. Within seconds, the event unfolded exactly as I'd seen it. I sat there, stunned. Another time, I had an incredibly detailed dream about my cousin's sister cutting her little finger. I saw the blood, the shock, the pain. The next day, while she was helping with household chores, a glass broke in her hand, slicing her finger in precisely the same way I'd dreamt. She needed stitches, just as I had seen. If you are a precognitive empath, you may recognize these experiences in yourself. Dreams that manifest in waking life, sudden flashes of the future that prove accurate, or an unshakable knowing about what's about to happen to the people around you. It is both a gift and a responsibility, one that can feel heavy at times but also serves as a profound reminder. Your intuition is not random. It is a finely tuned instrument shaped by survival, strengthened by experience, and connected to something far greater than logic alone can explain. This kind of empathic ability often develops as a survival mechanism in the aftermath of narcissistic abuse. As I've explained before, your entire system becomes locked in a state of hypervigilance, always scanning for danger before it has a chance to strike. Over time, that vigilance no longer limits itself to detecting immediate physical threats. It begins to extend outward, reading shifts and changes that lie ahead, even those in nature itself. Number 2. The weather or earth empath. A weather or earth empath is so deeply in tune with the natural environment that even the subtlest shifts in the atmosphere register in their body. Their sensitivity runs so deep that they often experience environmental allergies, skin flare-ups, or respiratory issues triggered by weather changes. They can feel the heaviness in the air hours before rain begins to fall, sense when a storm is brewing long before the first warning signs appear, or detect the stillness that precedes a major weather shift. It's as if their body becomes a living barometer, translating the Earth's whispers into physical sensations. Some experience mood changes that mirror the weather, melancholy during gray skies, bursts of energy in bright sunshine. Others become restless or physically unsettled before earthquakes or large-scale environmental shifts. And just like with precognitive empaths, this sensitivity often intensifies after narcissistic abuse. When your nervous system has been rewired to anticipate threats at every turn, your awareness expands far beyond people. It begins to read the very air, the pressure, and even the pulse of the earth around you. Number 3. The physical empath. Physical empaths are unique in that they don't just sense emotional energy. They literally absorb the physical symptoms, pain, and even illnesses of others. The experience can be so vivid that it's almost impossible to distinguish between your own body sensations and those you've taken on from someone else. I wouldn't have believed this if I hadn't lived it myself. My connection with my mother was not only psychological and emotional, it was physical. I became her pain carrier. I could place my hand on her and immediately know if something in her body was hurting. "Is your arm okay? I feel like there's something wrong," I would ask. She would confirm it every time. It wasn't guesswork. I tested this with others as well. I could feel a stomachache, a throbbing leg, or sharp pain that wasn't mine. Yet it registered as if it were. My natural instinct was to place my hands on the spot that hurt, and within minutes, the other person would feel relief while I was left momentarily collapsed from the intensity. The pain would fade from me too, but in that moment, I had taken it into myself. To this day, if I'm deeply connected to someone, I can sense when their body is hurting without them saying a word. Looking back, I understand why my mother's health seemed to crumble when I left. Without me, she no longer had someone unconsciously absorbing her physical suffering. This is the burden of the physical empath. You become an unwilling healer in toxic relationships, silently carrying the pain of others at the cost of your own energy. And while this ability is extraordinary, it is also the very gift that narcissists latch onto, draining it for as long as you allow them to remain in your life. Sometimes, people are given a rare and beautiful opportunity to heal and be supported, but instead of cherishing it, they squander it. Rather than appreciating the gift you bring into their lives, they fixate on their own envy, slowly twisting what could have been a mutual blessing into a one-sided drain. They use your gifts until you are emptied out completely. Number 4. Dream empath. Dream empaths possess a remarkable channel for intuitive knowledge that flows through their sleep. Their dreams are not fragments of random images or subconscious noise. They are messages, visions, and guidance in stunning detail. These dreams can carry prophetic glimpses of the future, reveal the truth about someone's hidden intentions, or present solutions to problems that have yet to unfold. The experiences are so vivid that they feel less like dreams and more like lived memories, replayed before they even happen. A dream empath might recall conversations that have not yet occurred or watch events play out exactly as they will in the days to come. While similar to precognitive empaths, dream empaths also receive rich symbolic guidance, using their dreams like a compass for real-world decisions. Many record their dreams faithfully because the insight they hold is both rare and precise. After enduring narcissistic abuse, this gift often sharpens dramatically. The subconscious mind becomes a tireless worker, not only sifting through the wreckage of trauma but also lighting the path toward recovery. This makes them particularly threatening to narcissists because dreams cannot be twisted, rephrased, or gaslit. You cannot be convinced that your dream was wrong when it reveals truths that match reality. It is a realm the narcissist cannot invade, a sanctuary of insight that dismantles their illusions even while you sleep. Number 5. Animal empath. Animal empaths share an extraordinary, almost otherworldly bond with creatures of every kind. They don't just understand animals, they feel them. An animal's fear, joy, hunger, or pain registers in their body like their own. Strays may walk right up to them without hesitation. Even wild animals, usually cautious of humans, are inexplicably drawn to their presence. This connection can soothe an anxious dog, calm a distressed horse, or coax a wounded bird to stay still for help. An animal empath can detect illness before any visible symptoms appear, sensing a change in energy long before it becomes obvious to others. Many find themselves naturally gravitating toward work in animal rescue, veterinary care, or advocacy for animal welfare because their empathy compels them to protect and nurture. There are countless stories, both personal accounts and documented cases, of people who display this gift, calming aggressive dogs instantly, knowing exactly where an animal is hurt, or even exchanging impressions and conversations with animals that feel like pure telepathy. Some describe receiving detailed mental images of an animal's past, their current emotional state, or the exact nature of their discomfort. For the animal empath, this is more than a skill. It's a deep soul-level language that bridges species. This gift often awakens, or grows far stronger, when you're in the middle of narcissistic abuse because animals embody something that was entirely absent in the toxic bond: unconditional love without the strings, games, or traps. Animals don't pretend to care while secretly scheming against you. They don't twist your reality, hide ulterior motives, or drip-feed affection to control you. They simply offer a connection that's pure, honest, and free from manipulation. The kind of genuine emotional exchange you may have been starved of for years. Number 6. The telepathic empath. These individuals possess an uncanny capacity to tap into a person's true thoughts and unspoken emotions with razor-sharp precision. They don't just read tone, posture, or micro-expressions. They literally tune into the mental wavelength of others. It's the reason they can finish sentences without effort, answer a question before it's been fully spoken, or respond to a thought no one dared to voice. They don't just notice lies. They feel the exact moment words and thoughts diverge, when hidden resentment simmers beneath a polite smile, or when affection is nothing but performance. This skill often forges itself in the fire of narcissistic abuse. Living with someone who constantly disguises their intentions forces your mind to evolve, learning to pierce through charm, scripted sweetness, and false promises. You develop a second sense that detects truth in the pauses, in the subtle changes in energy, in the spaces between words. And while you may doubt yourself, wondering if your mind is playing tricks, you'll find your readings repeatedly validated. You sense breakups before they are announced, dishonesty before it slips, and buried hostility long before it erupts. This isn't paranoia. This is your authentic intuition, and it's a part of you worth protecting. Number 7. The Heyoka empath. You might have heard of this rare and extraordinary type before. Heyoka empaths function as living mirrors, reflecting back the truths people avoid and the flaws they hide. Without even trying, they trigger deep self-reflection in others, sometimes inspiring growth, other times stirring discomfort or defensiveness. They have a way of making people confront the very parts of themselves they've buried, ignored, or denied. This ability often takes shape after enduring narcissistic abuse because you've learned to see straight through facades. You recognize hypocrisy instantly. You spot the cracks in carefully maintained illusions. And when you reflect this truth back, it forces people to face themselves, whether they like it or not. Narcissists find this unbearable. They cannot keep their mask intact around a Heyoka. If you are one, people might tell you that you make them think in ways they never have before, or that being in your presence feels both uncomfortable and strangely liberating. You challenge without apology, and that is exactly why your energy is both feared and sought after. This is your gift, the ability to help people heal by holding up a mirror to their truth. And now we arrive at the final one, number 8, the intuitive empath. These rare souls have finely tuned psychic senses that span across clairvoyance, clear seeing, clairsentience, clear feeling, clairaudience, clear hearing, and claircognizance, clear knowing. They are not limited to one channel of perception. Instead, they receive insight in many forms, often without a single word being spoken. Information can simply arrive: an image, a sensation, a voice in the mind, or an unshakable knowing that cannot be explained by logic alone. Like every other empathic gift we've explored, these abilities don't appear out of nowhere. They are forged in the crucible of narcissistic abuse. When someone is constantly distorting your reality and gaslighting you into doubting yourself, your psyche learns to sharpen its inner senses as a form of protection. Over time, you begin to trust your inner compass more than the words of manipulators. You learn to separate truth from illusion, not by evidence alone, but by a deep inner resonance that tells you when something is real and when it is not. An intuitive empath might get sudden bursts of insight that feel like they're dropped straight into their mind. They might hear inner guidance, sense the energy around a person, or simply know the reality of a situation without needing proof. This multi-layered awareness becomes an invaluable tool in a world where manipulation and deception are far too common. If you see yourself in one or more of these empath types, understand this: it's no accident. These are not random quirks of personality. They are abilities forged in the fire of survival, shaped to help you navigate emotional warfare, hidden agendas, and the subtle weapons of manipulation. The narcissist targeted you not despite these gifts, but because of them. They could feel your heightened awareness, your refusal to be fully blinded, your connection to what is genuine, and it terrified them. They fought to dim your light because they could never create such light themselves. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It is not a flaw to hide. It is a rare and powerful superpower, born from pain but capable of guiding you and others toward truth and healing. The moment you learn to own it, to heal the wounds from which it emerged, it transforms into your greatest strength. So tell me, which type of empath are you? Share it in the comments. And with that, we'll bring this episode to a close. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for embracing the light within you. Until next time, have a nice day, everyone.